Author Tom Phillips has created a funny, fast-paced mystery series that has captivated middle-grade readers. He's joining me today to share his journey to becoming an author. Thank you so much for being here, Tom.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your journey to creating this series.
Oh man, I've been writing for a long time. I'm an animation writer in Hollywood, and I'm dyslexic. So I am not an avid reader. And somebody challenged me to write a book that I've always been talking about. In fact, when we met, I was writing this book.
And so when we met was back in college, which we will not say how many years ago. You were working on this book under a different title back then.
Yes, the original title of the series was The Grand Adventures of Inspector Totius McGee.
Yes.
But when you get published, the marketing team comes and they wanted a different name and they changed it. And they put the Curious League of Detectives and Thieves, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah.
And now there are 3 books in the series. Yep. So can you give us a little bit of a synopsis? This was book 1.
Yes, book 1 is Egypt's Fire. So Egypt's Fire is about John Borhog. He's an orphan that's that's living in the Museum of Natural History. He's run away from the orphanage and he's living in the museum by himself. And he gets framed for stealing a ruby. And he has to team up with this crazy detective, the Inspector Totius McGee, and catch the real thief, a criminal mastermind known as the Mauve Moth, to clear his name. And it starts there and then it goes all the way to Peru.
On.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing that I like to do whenever we talk about this book, because the library had brought this book one time when they were doing recommendations for young readers, is show that my name is in this book because he was writing it when we were in school together. Yeah. There is a character named Jaclyn Starr, and she spells her name the same way I do. And what does she do?
She's a reporter.
She is a reporter.
Yeah.
So a journalist, like a writing journalist.
I'm an author and a psychic. No, and the reason why I called her Star was because I always knew you were going to be a star.
Well, thanks, Tommy. Tom, he goes by Tom now. He was Tommy back then.
Yeah, that's how long ago it was.
Right.
Yes, no.
And then what is this book about?
So SOS takes place on a cruise ship in the sky. It's not steampunk. The genre isn't steampunk. I just wanted a cruise ship and I put it in the sky. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to introduce young readers to classic mysteries. So we have like the Jewel Heist. We have like Murder on the Bounty. We have The Peruvian Express is the 3rd book. The Peruvian Express is the Orient Express, because actually it's the twin sister train of the actual Orient Express. And I found it was in Peru, and so I'm set in Peru. So I'm introducing kids to classic mysteries in a new way. We write for reluctant readers, because once again, I'm dyslexic and I don't like to read. There it is.
Yeah, that's the cover, because we don't have that book here because you've been doing your tour and
all over
schools and they all sell out.
Yeah, we sold out. It's on back order. No, you can get it anywhere. You can get it at any bookstore, anywhere. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit, because you've mentioned a couple of times how you're dyslexic.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about how dyslexia has impacted you?
Yeah, I didn't find out I was dyslexic actually till our sophomore year in college. And I spent my entire life thinking that I was not as smart as everyone, and that everybody took 4 hours to do their homework, and they didn't catch it because I'm super creative. So they were like, he's not, the teachers and everybody looked at it and they were like, he's smart, he's trying, but then there's certain things he doesn't want to do. So they just said, oh, well, he's not interested, he doesn't want to do it. So,
but that's what dyslexia feels like.
Yeah,
right?
You can see that. I don't know if that one is moving. If you, dyslexia hits 1 in 4 people in the country. It's very, very common. Also, if your child has ADHD, there's a good chance they have dyslexia because it's the same part of the brain.
Oh, interesting.
That fires the same synapses. So somebody said, and I don't know if this is scientific, so I don't want to be, please doctors, don't take this. Don't send me letters. If it's like the synapses are slow, you have dyslexia. If they're fast, you have ADHD.
Oh, interesting.
So it's the same ones, yeah. So a lot of kids will go unnoticed because they've been diagnosed with ADHD.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's pretty incredible that with that, you've still been able to not only write books, get books published, but also win awards. And I know that you won an award. You're nominated for another award. Can you talk a little bit about your amazing accolades?
Yeah, well, I won an Anthem Award for the animation. And then Curious One was nominated for the Beehive Award in Utah and the Mark Twain Award. So I'm currently. I'll find out next week if I won the Mark Twain Award or not, but I'm nominated, it's fine.
And the Mark Twain Award is really cool because it's voted on by...
The kids, yeah, the librarians. Every state has an award, and usually it's a panel, most of the time it's librarians that vote on X amount of books. That goes from like 2,000 books to 100 books to 12 books. And then when they get to 12 books, the kids get to read it. In Missouri, they have to read 5 of them.
Okay.
And then they're tested on the books to see if they actually read it. Okay. And if they pass the test, then they get to vote.
Oh, fun.
So it's sort of cool. And I think the biggest honor is all the other 11 books. Like the authors that are on that list are people that I love and I just am like obsessed with. So like we just had this festival and a whole bunch more were there at the festival, and I got to meet them, and I was like running around, like, can I have your autograph? Would you sign my book? Would you do this? Oh my gosh, you know who you are? And they're like, do you know who you are? And I'm like, I'm such a big fan. I've read all of your books. So yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and I know you have a lot of fans as well. My nephew in particular, Cameron, is a huge fan of yours, and he thinks it's so cool that I know you.
Cameron, my assistant editor, who has lots of things to say about the book.
He's great.
That's great.
But he loves them, and he has only nice things to say about them.
I like to write for boys that don't like to read. So if you're a boy and you don't like to read, you're going to love my book. If you're a girl that loves to read, you're also going to love my book. But I really try to focus on the kids that hate to read, and I want to give them this chance, because if we can just teach kids to love stories,
right,
and that's where it comes from. So we always say, like, let your kids self-select, take them to the library and let them pick it. They're like, I want a book about dinosaurs. Great, do it. You know, I want to read Sherlock Holmes. And don't say you're 7, you can't do it. Just be like, here. If they get bored, we'll go back, we'll get a new one.
Right.
But if you just teach them to choose and let them have their own choice in it, they will become readers. And there was a study done. If you, my books are for 8 to 13-year-olds. So they're middle grade books. So they're in between the chapter books, like the Nancy Drew books or the Babysitter Club books. And then, you know, Twilight and first Harry Potter is a middle grade book. Okay. So if you read between a half an hour a night, between 8 and 11, they say that your child will be in the top 5% of all their classes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay, so reading really is that foundation because of
especially this age,
like that. Right. Yeah. And then I know that your author photo in this book is a picture of you with a monkey, and the monkey is a character in the book as well.
Look at how young I look in this one. That one. Yeah, do that one. That's a way better picture. Yes, yes, yes. That's Chiquita Banana.
And so the kids always ask you, right? We were talking the other day about like the questions that you get asked as an author, and the main question is always, is that your monkey?
No, right? I don't own a monkey. I would like to own a monkey. Right. But my wife said I can't have 2 monkeys in the house, and I'm enough of a banana-eating mischief maker that I don't need any competition. Yeah.
Well, thank you for setting the record straight on that. Here on ciLiving, you heard it here first.
Write a book. Make your money, you can buy a monkey.
There you go.
Right?
Well, thank you for being here, Tommy.
Thank you for having me. I can't believe this. This is wonderful. Thank you guys so much.
And if you want more information about Tom Phillips, you can visit us on the web after the show at ciLiving.tv, and we would be happy to connect you.